Should Dragon Ball continue without Goku? Obviously, Dragon Ball is the story of Goku. Goku is the main character, and he is the centerpiece of the story. He had his character arc in Dragon Ball, and then when Dragon Ball Z began, Toriyama kind of was figuring out ways to kind of write him out of the story because he wanted to give other characters a bigger arc and he did not want to overexpose him, which is why in DBZ, Goku's usually dead or he has a heart virus or he's on the way to Namek. That's just kind of how Toriyama wrote the story. And he did that so that Goku would not be overexposed. But when it came to Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super, it went back to being Goku time. You know, people say that GT stands for Goku time as a joke, but really Dragon Ball Super did too. So, yes, Goku is the main character, but if the franchise as a whole is to survive for the next 50 years or so, is it time to move on? Is it time to tell a different story, not about Goku? Obviously, Masako Nozawa, the voice of Goku, is in great shape for 80, but she's still 80. So who knows? We're going to discuss this on this video. What can be the future of Dragon Ball without Goku? Please welcome to the channel person who's very, very well known for criticizing Dragon Ball Super. Content is not for the faint of heart. Please welcome MBA from Mad Black Entertainment. How are you?
What's going on, guys? I'm pretty good today, man. Glad to be back on Geekdom 101 doing another video with you, man.
Yes. You were on a stream a few months ago, and you were a big hit. So I thought we'd come back and talk about this because you've talked about this before. You've done videos on it, and I want to get your insight. Now that Super's been over for a couple months, Super may come back next year. We got movies. You know, Dragon Ball's not over yet, but we're talking about later in the future. You know, is it time for Dragon Ball to find a new main character? Granted, I'm not saying that like Goku didn't serve his purpose and that he's not a great character because he has been in the past, but you know, are they gonna keep going back to Goku? Are they gonna keep like recasting him, or is it time to move forward? And I'm not saying it should be somebody like Oob. It could be a brand new character like 100 years down the road. What do you think about them keeping Goku on as the main character?
I made a video about this, and in my video I said that what they should do with the whole Goku and Vegeta situation is very simple. They should have Vegeta go ahead and take his quest to Universe 6, you know, get with Whis and Beerus and find a way to get to Universe 6 so he can go and be with the other Saiyans, because the way that they played that up, it seems like that's what Vegeta really wants. Okay, that's how you take him out of the story. And if you want, you can even make a whole new set of adventures in Universe 6. You know, it's not just Vegeta, you have Hit there too. So stuff you can do with that.
Yeah.
Goku, I think Goku, the way they should tell it is he's done set off to find basically the greatest fighting challenge that he could think of. The greatest fighter ever, even more powerful than Jiren. Someone like that. Mm-hmm. And that's how you kind of take him out of the story. I think the new Z Warriors, or whatever you want to call them, the S Warriors, whatever, the way they should do it is Gohan should basically take over as basically the new Goku. Goten, Trunks, maybe Pan if she's old enough, Oob, Majin Buu, and have Piccolo there as a mentoring kind of role. People like Krillin, Roshi, all those guys, they should be out of the picture as well. They should go with Goku. All the people from the original Dragon Ball, they shouldn't have anything to do with it except being ancillary characters, like maybe comedic value. Like they use Yamcha for comedic value, you know, for funny stuff. I can deal with that. But the whole new fighting cast, it should be Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Oob, Pan, Majin Buu, Piccolo as support role. That's the way I see it.
Well, I think that the idea of them using the younger cast to take over makes sense. The only issue is specifically with Gohan, because we've been really, you know, it's been pretty hammered home in Super that Gohan is not Goku. Gohan is, you know, a family man. He does not enjoy fighting at all. He only fights because he has to. Now, granted, a lot of superheroes are like that, but as far as Gohan replacing Goku, they've already kind of tried that, and Toriyama already said that that's not the guy. Now, what about this scenario, though? You know, I've been very critical of the new Star Wars trilogy, but what if we have a scenario where maybe like 50 to 100 years in the future, forget the current stuff, we do a significantly huge time skip. We're talking about like 100 years in the future, maybe even 200 years. And at this point in the Dragon Ball universe, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, they've been dead forever of old
Yeah,
age. And they're legends. They're kind of like what they did with The Force Awakens, where Luke Skywalker and Han Solo are legends, even though that was like 30 years, which isn't really that long of a time, but whatever.
exactly. I know.
Right? But I was thinking they could just, and this is going to be very risky, and we're going to get to that in a minute, dump all the old characters except maybe like an old Master Roshi, maybe have Goku's ghost appear like they did in the Goku Jr. special, things like that they could always do, and just focus on a brand new cast, start fresh, keep the idea of the Dragon Balls, the Namekians, all that stuff stays, but
Hmm.
Goku and Vegeta are just legends. There's like statues, and of course Mr. Satan. There's like statues about them and whatnot, and they're just completely out of the picture, and we have a brand new cast. Do you think that Toei has the stones to do this? Because we have to keep in mind that Goku, no matter how you feel about Dragon Ball Super, is an iconic character. If you talk about like iconic Japanese figureheads in fiction,
Yeah.
we got Pikachu, we got Godzilla, we got, I would even dare to say Naruto, and we've got Goku. There's a few others too. So I feel like, you know, it's very ballsy, but I feel like that's the only direction they can go in without having somebody complain about, well, because, you know, if they go in like the direction of like Gohan and them, people are still going to be complaining about why isn't Vegeta doing something, even though you did write Vegeta out. I feel like if they go 200 years in the future, hit the reset button and just say, okay, Goku and Vegeta and them are legends, that's all they are. I think they could get somewhere with that, but will they do it though? Do they have the balls to start over with a new character? Because that takes a lot
I
of, it's
don't.
a big risk.
I don't think they do. I'll be honest with you. There were multiple times where they could have done that, and they like you said in the opening, they found a lot of interesting ways to get Goku out of the way for a little while,
Right.
but they always found a way to put him back in the story because they understand that he's the guy. So a time skip that significant, you have no choice but to take him out. He's not going to live to be 200 years old. So
Yeah.
that a time skip that significant would work. The problem is the same people who would complain about Gohan, as soon as they saw Goku's ghost or
Right. You're
statue,
right.
they would immediately start to compare the main protagonist to that statue or that ghost immediately. If you're going to do it, then maybe you can do like a homage to Goku, but not have constant reminders of Goku throughout the show. And then maybe you can start to turn the corner, you know? But if you just make a new guy, here's the mantle, you're the new guy, and then Goku's ghost shows up every blue moon to give him advice, kind of like Obi-Wan
That's right.
and Luke. If you
Yeah.
have that, then all people are going to want is that ghost to beat somebody up. I mean, it's as simple as that.
No,
You know,
that's a great point. You make a great point. Like you're right. Like Goku, it's sort of like the whole thing with like people talking about like Michael Jordan and LeBron James. You know, like Michael Jordan retiring. If you and you remember this
yeah, I remember.
when Michael Jordan retired, every 5 years we kept getting a new guy who was the next Michael Jordan. I remember, not every 5 years, every year. I remember Vince Carter. He's the
Hmm.
I was in like I think I was like a senior in high school or a junior. I don't remember. Vince Carter's the new Michael Jordan. Allen Iverson's new Michael Jordan. And then LeBron came around. He's the new Michael Jordan. And it's like everybody compares everyone to Mike Kobe Bryant. Everyone compares him to Michael, and it's like this guy Goku is such an iconic character that his shadow like looms over Dragon Ball like forever. So what can they do? I mean, I almost feel like there's nothing they can do except try because going in that direction of moving beyond Goku is very risky no matter what because Goku is the icon of the series, but I feel like they have no choice but to try. Even if it flops, I think that they should try.
I'll be honest with you, I agree with you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm one of these older fans on YouTube who, been watching since the early Dragon Ball days. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, when I criticize Super, a lot of people accuse me of just being nostalgic and just wanting Z all over
I can't
again.
stand when people say that. There's a dude.
And I'm not
Uh,
nostalgic. I just want something really good to look at. And if you're going to make Dragon Ball, I definitely want it to be good because of how iconic it is. I don't want a mediocre Dragon Ball. If you're going to make it, then do it right. So I agree with you. I think they should do a full reboot, but we both agree that we don't think they have the courage to do it because I don't think that they're willing to let it go because they're almost as bad as the fan base. The fan base refuses to let Goku go, and I think Toei sees Goku as such a big moneymaker that they don't want to risk trying to introduce a new protagonist. I mean, the Gohan experiment failed.
Yeah.
I mean, Gohan is a great character. There are some people who like him, some who don't. But as far as taking over full time for Goku, it was a failure. And there are several times where Gohan, me personally, just pissed me off.
Oh, yeah.
During the fight with Cell, he pissed me off. A lot in that fight. And it takes your dad blowing himself up with Cell before you realize it's time to get serious.
And,
Stuff like
and
that.
then he did it again in the Boo Saga where he goofed around and got absorbed.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just and even Piccolo has told him, in the series, you let your guard down, you get cocky, and I guess they try to blame that on the human side of him or whatever, being cocky, this, that, and the other. But it's something that they said that Gohan said, episode 90 of Super, that made me think that the evolution in a new show will be towards him, because when he told Goku that he's trying to find a new transformation, he's trying to transform in a whole different way.
Yeah,
I thought they could run with that. As soon as he said that, I was like, that's a great idea.
And instead, they gave it to Vegeta.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. They screwed it up. They ruined the opportunity to say, okay, Goku's out of the picture. Gohan's the guy. And, oh, look, he's found a different way to transform that doesn't involve yellow hair. That would have been awesome to me, but I know a lot of people are Goku guys, so it's really nothing you can do about it. I hope they reboot and do something different, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to run this Goku thing in the ground.
I mean, at some point, they either have to recast Goku or move on, because, Nozawa, again, not even speaking about her age, she can retire whenever she wants. She won't, because the Japanese say you have a real strong bond with their characters, but she could. And the other thing, too, I want to quickly bring up is I don't think the Western fans really understand this, but the Japanese Dragon Ball fans, the ones that were watching in the 90s, the older fans, not the younger ones that are around now, a lot of them don't like Dragon Ball Super. I think I've told you that before. A lot of them,
did.
Yeah, they're super, they're very fickly when it comes to this. Super is liked more by the kids nowadays. And I'm just thinking, well, if the kids like Dragon Ball Super and the old school fans don't, wouldn't it be a smart idea to just move past Goku anyways and just make a new hero, right, for them? I think that might actually work out even better. But then the question is, who, and do you make him, here's the scary part, do you make him just like Goku? Do you make him someone who likes to fight and who, makes some dumb bonehead decisions once in a while? Or do you make him more of a heroic character? Here's my question to you. Out of all the new characters in Super, because what they could do is, instead of doing like a main Dragon Ball story, they could do spin-offs. And I've talked about this I don't know how many times. Which of the new characters do you think deserves kind of his own TV show? I was going to say Hit, but I feel like Hit was kind of humiliated in the Tournament of Power by Jiren. But is he really interesting enough to get, which character do you think is interesting enough? Maybe not your favorite, but who is interesting enough to actually get their own TV show that could actually last 100 episodes and actually be interesting?
I actually had two ideas for this.
Yeah.
The first one, I was like you, and that was Hit. When they showed the episode in Universe 6 where they showed Hit doing his assassination jobs, that was one of the few episodes where I didn't bag on it. Hit is one of the only things I liked about Dragon Ball Super. The other idea that I had, since we're talking about spinoffs don't necessarily have to be about good guys or bad guys. They can be about neutral guys or whatever. But here's a spinoff I was thinking about. I would love to see a spinoff where they show all the stuff that Goku, Black, and Zamasu were doing before, like all the future stuff that they were doing in Trunks' timeline before they got to Trunks. Because, Trunks mentioned that, Black bragged about destroying other places, other worlds, and all this.
That's right.
I would like to see all of that backlog prequel stuff in its own spinoff. And yeah, he's a bad guy, but Black was one of the only bad guys that was remotely likable and had an interesting story and actually had some type of ambition. He wasn't just some random guy blowing up stuff. And that's what I want. I would love to see that because I hate when they bring up stuff. They tell you somebody did something, but there's no footage of it. There's
Right.
nothing.
Well, you know what's funny about that is even though it's not Goku, it's still Goku. It's Goku Black.
Yeah.
It's Goku Black. It's not Goku, but it's still Nozawa doing the voice.
I always wished, honestly, that they would just turn Goku evil and be done with it. Like I even did a video about that, and I did a video about Vegeta's jealousy and anger getting the best of him, and basically him turning on the Z Warriors.
Well, he did it. He did it in the Majin Vegeta saga. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do
Yeah,
that.
but
again.
I mean, without being coerced by some. I mean, by on his own. He just decides I'm sick of being in this guy's shadow. I'm done with it, and just decides, boom, I'm gonna do what I got to do. Maybe not be like a total bad guy, but maybe he has the devil may care kind of attitude, towards Goku and the Z Warriors. Because I really do believe that Vegeta took the worst of Super. I think they screwed his character up really bad. But the only other person they screwed up worse to me is Frieza. I think they ruined Frieza for me.
Anyways, let us know in the comments what you think. Can and should Dragon Ball move on without Son Goku? And if so, how should it? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to check out MBA's channel, MBE, Mad Black Entertainment. Again, not for the faint of heart. Very different than the kind of stuff I put out.
If you guys are interested in my channels, I have Mad Black Entertainment. I also have the League of Darkness. And I have a third channel is Mad Black Atheist, No More Gods. But that channel is a political, social channel. So if you're just wanting anime, then stick with the first two. The third channel is strictly for politics and social issues.
Yeah, not all off-topic stuff. Anyways, thank you so much. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you soon.